Alright, let's pack this car up. We got a long day.
So recently I drove over 10 hours from Vancouver to Calgary, trying to find as many interesting stops along the way. There are so many places worth stopping, and even though we were on a tight schedule, we still managed to stop at 15 of the top stops I wanted to check out. So the majority of these stops can be finished within an hour if you're tight on time. Starting from Vancouver and working my way towards Calgary, the first stop is Bridal Falls in Chilliwack, BC. Just over an hour from Vancouver, and if you look closely enough, you'll see Bridal Falls from the highway. It's an easy stop, a quick 10-minute walk to the falls, and it makes for a nice way to start or end your drive. I'm going to try and go through this list fairly quickly. Next is the town of Hope, BC. It's a town 2 hours east of Vancouver, and the kickoff point to the rest of British Columbia. It's probably just me, but I had some very good childhood memories at this DQ in Hope, BC. There's more to Hope than the Dairy Queen though. Walking throughout the town, you'll find these chainsaw carvings. Yes, local artists Pete Ryan and Randy Swoop carved these using just a chainsaw. There has to be over 30 of them scattered throughout the town. It's pretty neat and a fun way to walk around the town trying to spot them all. Alright, so our next stop is the Coquihalla Canyon Provincial Park. Let's go check it out. So if you're visiting the Coquihalla Canyon Provincial Park, you'll find yourself here at the Othello tunnels. Located 50 minutes outside of Hope, BC, these tunnels were a part of the railroad that bridged eastern Canada to the Pacific Ocean. It's pretty remarkable walking through these tunnels and imagining them building these over 100 years ago. It's a beautiful area, nestled between the mountains, and worth walking through a bit of Canadian history. Alright, next up is this kangaroo farm. How cool is that? So yes, just north of Kelowna, BC is the Kangaroo Creek Farm. It's rather inexpensive at $10 per adult, and even less for children. It's not a huge place, and I feel like an hour here too is all you need. You have goats, pigs, birds, and reptiles, but obviously the main attraction is the kangaroos. You know what? This place was so neat, and we had a blast here. I had never seen a kangaroo until I was here, and it was so worth it. You're basically free to roam around, and as long as you follow the rules, you can hang out with them too. They were so soft and definitely a recommended spot to check out. Just be aware they have some odd hours. Alright, so when you're driving through Kelowna, you have to pick up some wine. Kelowna, BC is known for their wine. Within 30 minutes in either direction of the city has dozens of the top wineries in Canada. You really can't go wrong with any of them. You will find something you'll like during the tasting. If you have more time, they have tours where you can go to multiple wineries in a day, but we just drove and picked a few to check out. Just be aware, virtually all of them now do charge around $5 for a tasting, but they waive the fee if you make a purchase. Alright, so next on our list is a log barn, just in Armstrong, BC. This place has got a ton of cool stuff out front, and apparently the best pie you can buy in the area, so let's check it out. Okay, so the pie was actually really good. They kept claiming they had the best pie in the area. It was freshly made, and although a little sweet, it just melted in my mouth. Oh, it was so good. Now, if you don't know, the log barn in Armstrong, British Columbia is basically a general store located right beside the highway. It's a little pricey, but a fun stop regardless. It's really impossible to miss with all the crazy and unique stuff they have scattered throughout the property. Even if you don't want anything at the general store, there's just so many cool things out front that you can get free pictures and do whatever you want. It's pretty awesome here. The next stop is probably the halfway point between Calgary and Vancouver. You'll find yourself in Sicamous, BC, probably the houseboat capital of BC. The main attraction here is 20 minutes up this dirt road to the Sicamous lookout. There's no parking. You're going to be wondering if you're on the right path, but the lookout is incredible. First time here, it looks so unsafe, but it is. You get these amazing views overlooking Sicamous, I hope I'm saying that right, and Suswap Lake. You are so high up. We spent way longer here than we planned. Alright, so you can definitely do this drive, Vancouver to Calgary or Calgary to Vancouver, all in one day if you really go at it. We've been taking our time and now we gotta find a place to sleep. Check it out. Alright, so not bad, right? Keeps it pretty private, you can't see through anything, right beside the highway, we're in the rest area. I honestly thought we were gonna stay in a hotel or motel or something. This wasn't even my idea. But you know what? I can sleep through anything, so I'll see you in the morning. All right, good morning. Actually slept pretty well, wasn't too bad. And off to our next stop, right over here. Okay, so this is the last spike. It's a bit of Canadian history where the Canadian Pacific Railroad was completed. If you went to any school in Canada, you spent a lot of time learning about the railroad and how it united Canada, so it's a unique stop. The last spike to the railroad was finished here on November 7th, 1885, and this picture is a recreation of the original. It's right off the highway, free, just a nice area to stop, take some pictures, grab a snack. It's something you can do very quickly. And it's so easy, why not? Couldn't figure out the name of this town. Apparently it's Coquihalla. Now from here to Revelstoke, there are a few spots you might want to check out, but we never did them. There is the Three Valley Gap Ghost Town. The drive in here is insanely gorgeous. Just seeing the hotel at the end of the lake and mountains all around, it looked like a scene right out of the movies. I vaguely remember visiting this ghost town as a kid, and I think I enjoyed it. It seems to have good ratings online, so next time I'm in the area, I'll probably check it out. You also have the Enchanted Forest, which I heard is more for younger children, and the Crazy Creek Suspension Bridge. I heard this place was a little underwhelming, and you can see the suspension bridge and the waterfall from the highway, so we skipped it. The resort looked nice though, so there's that. Okay, so when we passed by Revelstoke BC, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I have to admit, after spending a little time here, I have to say it's a very charming community. Downtown has so many historic buildings, and there are so many things to do in this area. I could have easily made another video just in Revelstoke. I definitely want to come back and spend a little more time exploring this town. If you need a spot to stop and relax, this next stop is for you. This is the Canyon Hot Springs. You won't miss the sign off the highway, and it's less than 30 minutes outside of Revelstoke. It's privately run, there's a campground on the site, it can get a little crowded. Yeah, you can't beat knowing a nice spot where you can pull over for a refreshing dip in the pool. Oh, this is so relaxing. It costs about $15 for an adult, and I would recommend getting here just before they open or close during the weekday to avoid some of the crowds. Alright, so I seen this on the internet and I wanted to check it out. It's Takaka Falls. Wow, Takakka Falls was insane. Takakka, which means magnificent in Cree, is probably the best way to describe it. It's only a 30-minute detour off the highway and totally worth it. Just coming towards the waterfall, It seemed like it was falling in slow motion, just because of how tall it was. I later learned it was over 373 meters tall, or 1,224 feet, making this the second largest waterfall in Canada. Okay, so now we're entering Alberta, and as you know, there are so many places worth stopping in Banff National Park. I might have picked some of the obvious ones in Moraine Lake and Lake Louise, both gorgeous, with Moraine Lake being one of the most photographed lakes in the world, and Lake Louise being an international destination. And to end this off, check out the city of Banff. Downtown is loaded with restaurants, tour guides, tourists, and souvenir shops, but it also has a very fun vibe to it. Tons of museums and so many unique things you can do. I know I probably missed a few destinations, so be sure to add it in the comment section below. If you're still watching, like the video, and as always, until later, I'll see you later.